Welcome back to SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. And now here's your weekly sports feature. This might be the biggest Dave Day of all time just because there is so much going on right now with the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association voting on Friday to move forward with fall sports. Going to get into all that and so much more with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. I have a ton of notes in front of me, so let me just get to some of the bullet points with the PIAA. So fall sports practice started up on Monday. No spectators will be allowed at the events as of right now. So practice has started. Golf and tennis can start August 27th. First games for other sports and meets can start on September 11th. MMI Preparatory School, they will only be playing golf and cross country this fall. Steve Stallone did an excellent job. He has an article on that in the Standard Speaker. So Dave, it's really up to the individual school districts and private schools if they want to move forward with fall sports. It seems like the Hazleton Area School District, from what I read in your article, you had an outstanding article talking with coaches and athletes from around the area. It seems like the Hazleton Area School District is moving on with all their fall sports.
Yeah, as of now, they are. They've been working with working under state guidelines since the middle of June, when the PIAA said, yeah, sports can proceed with off-season workouts as long as they're following the guidelines that each district themselves had to come up with their own guidelines. In the case of the Hazleton Area School District, they have a partnership with Lehigh Valley Health Network, who's done an outstanding job. Talk to anybody involved with the school district's sports program. They give high marks for Lehigh Valley, what they've been able to do, make their athletic trainers readily available, and they have to be there. If sports want to go on, I think all the guidelines must be followed. They have to be strict. And in the case of the Hazleton Area School District, they haven't had any cases as of yet. So they've been able to proceed, but like Athletic Director Fred Barletta said, it's a day-by-day proposition. You have to take each day as it comes. You can't let any day slip. And if you want sports to happen, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of rope pulling by a lot of different parties. And to make this happen, we're all going to keep our fingers crossed as we move forward.
I thought MMI, their response when Steve Stallone was interviewing the head of school there, they mentioned, they're playing, I think, 2 of their 5 possible sports, not playing the sports the PIAA deemed moderate risk or high risk, just because of the fact they said to Steve Stallone that I think it was only a few, I think it was like 3 or 5. If that many students test positive in the school, they would have to shut things down and leave in-person instruction. They did not want to risk that. So it's interesting how individual it is for a bunch of the schools. Dave, you talked to a number of coaches and athletes in the article. I would suggest anybody go and read it. It's got all of the information there that you will need. Plus, it has some great emotional interviews with coaches and players. Caitlin Ketcher, who was on the Hazleton Area softball team, their season canceled, but she's also on the girls soccer team. Dave, I just want to read this quick quote, and then I'll ask you about your article. She said, quote, "We've already lost so much because of the pandemic. Any little thing that we have that brings enjoyment to our lives and allows things to get back to normal, it's great, and it's something you hope for. It's just a step in the right direction." Adding that she's going to play every game like it's her last. Talking to her, Dave, and a lot of these athletes and coaches, what were your feelings? What were your thoughts and feelings on just talking to all of them?
To hear that news from the PIAA, she said she was at practice when a group of the players were together, soccer practice, and they were able to celebrate a little bit. And you got to celebrate the small victories. That was a win on Friday that gave them the opportunity. But they also are realistic as well. They know that any day this season could change in a snap of a finger. And Caitlin is, has firsthand information about that. She went through it in softball season. She knows that, soccer season, her senior season, let alone not just the regular season, it's a senior season. And she's not the only athlete. There are a lot of athletes who are going through the same thing. It's going to be a lot of nervous energy, but if you could channel that energy into success on the field and keep working hard, then good things will happen. And I think the athletes have always been taught that, and another thing, sports teaches you. Mary Kelly, the field hockey coach, brought up some good points too about sports, the benefits of sports. And one of the benefits, you've played sports, I've played sports, we've covered sports, is how athletes respond from adversity. And what worse adversity can you go through than what athletes have gone through over the past several months? And how they respond, how they keep plugging away, I think it's an inspiration for all of us.
Dave, and you've had the opportunity to talk with coaches and athletic directors. I've talked with some as well. I think they definitely deserve a shout out for, as things keep changing and all that too. All of a sudden you're going forward planning for a fall season, then it stops for 2 weeks and there's a vote, and you could still do non-mandatory work. I think they've really responded well to keeping the student athletes safe, number one, but also number two, just going with the flow as things keep changing.
To keep that level head, it's a responsibility of a coach, and athletes are followers too. They see their leaders, their administrators, school officials, and go all the way up the ladder to the PIAA too. The PIAA deserves credit too, because that wasn't an easy decision to make too, being pulled in different directions, state legislators getting involved, and the governor put his 2 cents in, and he made the recommendation, and I'm sure he's doing it for the best reason. We could be confident that he's doing for his best reason why he strongly recommended against playing until January. So you got to put trust in a lot of different people, all the way from your coaches, your teammates, administrators, and I think they've done a yeoman's job trying to get this off the ground. And they all, again, they have to be realistic about that it could change. Tomorrow could be a different story. After we talk here, our views can be outdated. That just that quickly.
Dave, you mentioned it's not like it's been a quiet summer locally. There have been several athletes, baseball players I wanted just to mention right now, who are moving on to the Division I level from our area. Grant Russo and Bryce Molinaro going to St. John's University, and Nick Biazzi going to Florida State. I think you had the opportunity, Dave, to talk to maybe one or two of them. I think I saw some articles in the Standard Speaker.
Yeah, there's been a lot of the baseball teams, AAU teams, travel teams have played a lot over the last several weeks too, and the exposure that the Hazleton area players have been getting has been tremendous. Really, I mean, it's another season you want to look forward to, because all the talent that's going to be at the disposal of the Cougars and head coach Russ Kanzler, and they're doing a fantastic job working at it. And it's a shame when we couldn't get to cover it this year too, but the fact that they're still playing, making a name for themselves, looking to better their careers too, and it gives us something to do and something to be excited about, pump our fists about, and we look forward to covering them more in the future. That's for sure.
Again, for a full spectrum of what happened with the PIAA and what's going to happen, also reaction from local coaches and athletes, go to standardspeaker.com, read Dave Seaman's article. Steve Stallone has a separate piece on the Hazleton Area High School football team. Thank you for watching SSPTV Newsday. Thank you again to Dave Seaman for joining us. We'll see you next time. Be safe out there and take it easy, everybody.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.